Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Madison, and today I want to talk to you guys about 5 common houseplants that I think you need to know about, and you're probably going to want to try growing in your house if you're not already. So let's just get on into it here. Like I said, these are common houseplants, so they're not rare. They're common. They're going to be pretty easy for you to find. I feel like we hear all about rare houseplants all the time, so I felt like it was time to kind of take it down a notch or two and talk about some common houseplants that are going to be more easily accessible, more affordable, and possibly easier to grow. That's kind of what I'm going for, at least. So let's just jump right in. I want to start with this guy here. This is my holiday cactus. Now, this one in particular is a Thanksgiving cactus, and she is actually in bloom right now. Hopefully you can see. If not, I will of course get you some pretty shots of her. But this bloom is not quite opened up yet, and then we have 2 others here that are going to bloom soon, and these ones are super hot pink, which is just beautiful. I do have another one of these guys. This was given to me. They were both actually given to me by a coworker. So thank you so much, Janet, if you're watching this for some reason. If you are watching this, like, oh my God, thank you. But yeah, Janet gave me 2 of these guys. They are both Thanksgiving cacti. I will put the actual like scientific name on the screen for you guys in case you are wondering what it is. It's from a very sentimental plant, so I feel very honored to have this plant and the other one in my care. They actually have names. They're like, I think my only plants that have names. Like, my boyfriend has named his one plant, right? But I haven't named any of them. These guys came with names. So this is Mel, right? Or Myrna. I think this one's Mel, and then the other one is Myrna. So very sentimental. I absolutely love them. I think they are so stinking cute. The reason this is number 1, well, they're not in any particular order, but the reason it's on this list is because it's so easy to grow. This plant has been in no drainage. Can you tell that I got this plant kind of at the beginning of my plant journey? Because yeah, there's no drainage in this sucker. I think there might be rocks at the bottom to add drainage. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. But this guy has grown fairly consistently. Not a crazy fast grower, mind you. Like, she's not doing any crazy moves or anything like that. But the fact that she blooms, I mean, that's enough movement for me, honestly. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. You're probably not going to be able to tell, but there is a spider web or a cob. I can't tell if it's a cobweb or a spider web. She's definitely dusty. Sorry, sweetie. This is the only plant that I have not moved away from a windowsill or like taken down from a windowsill as part of like my winter prep, which if you haven't seen that video, if it's not out already, definitely be on the lookout for that video because I did film one going through and kind of just showing you everything that I do to like winter prep for my plants. It's not much, but I just wanted to share with you. But yeah, this is the only plant that I did not move away from my windowsill because she's chilling. She's doing absolutely great. These are literally pressed up against the cold window. She's totally fine. She's like,
Oh, okay. You want some flowers? Okay.
like, it's so cool. I just adore it. And like, honestly, care-wise for this sucker, highlight, as high a light as you want to give. She's like, okay, fine. She absolutely adores it. As you can tell, we are sun stressed as well. So she's gotten like really pinkish purple tips and it's just beautiful. It did not start that way. She was all green when I first got her and she was much smaller when I first got her as well. I doubt I'm going to be able to find any pictures of when I was first given these guys, but if I can find them miraculously, I will put them in for you. But yeah, it's grown so easily for me. I wait for it to get very, very, very dry because this guy does sit up on my windowsill. I honestly just like enjoy her from afar and like don't think about her at all. I just like forget about that she's there other than just like looking at it and being like, oh, pretty. Oh, there's a bloom. Oh, there's a this or a that. But that's pretty much it. This is not a talkative plant. It might like ever so slightly droop or something when it gets thirsty, but never enough for me to personally notice. So it's really cool. It's so hardy. I have never had an issue with overwatering or underwatering for either of the plants. The other one of these guys that I have is in a drain, does have a drainage hole. Let me grab it for you actually. It's just right over here. Oh my gosh, one of you guys commented recently that it was like the sweetest comment ever, which honestly, I think I'm gonna say 99.999% of the comments that I get from you guys are so unbelievably kind. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, thank you. But when you guys commented recently, just like the sweetest thing, saying that like you just like appreciate how like weird I am, and I'm like, yes. My weirdos are finding me. Like, thank you. Oh, what? Sir? Sorry, there's a giant spider crawling on my ceiling. And I feel like I saw that same spider elsewhere. Do you have brothers and sisters in here, dude? Cousins? Oh, God. I'm getting so off track. Okay, anyway, back to this. Here is my other one. This one is Myrna, if this one's Mel or vice versa. I don't remember how we it doesn't really matter. But yes, they are so beautiful. As you can tell, this one's been getting a little bit higher light, I think, which is honestly kind of shocking because I don't know. I just thought this one was getting higher light, but this one isn't quite as sun stressed, although it still does have some of that sun stressing. It's not quite as sun stressed as this, but anyway, what I was showing this to you for anyway is just to show you this does have a single drainage hole. It's actually plugged. She's fine. I'm gonna plug her back up. Ugh. But yeah, it does have a drainage hole. The pot that it was in previously also had drainage holes, so I'm keeping them kind of both ways, drainage and no drainage, and they're both doing absolutely fine. I've never had any issues with either of them. So yeah, super hardy plants. Definitely check these out. I feel like you can find these right around now. Actually, is a really good time to be hunting for these because you can find them for clearance for like $1 to $5 or something like that, like very cheap. You can find these guys with like all different colored flowers, and they're just perfect. You can keep them all year round, obviously, and it doesn't just bloom like during whatever season it's claiming to be. Like this claims to be a Thanksgiving cactus, right? But it doesn't just bloom during Thanksgiving. It also bloomed in spring, and it will bloom like further into winter, and it bloomed in summer, I'm pretty sure. So it just kind of does it when it feels like it, but they're just such cool plants, and I feel like they're really underrated too. So I will move along to the next one so this video isn't super long, but yeah, Christmas cactus, Thanksgiving cactus, holiday cactus. Definitely check these guys out. So easy to care for. Oh my God. And just rewarding because like what? You get a flower. Okay. Moving along. Let me sip my coffee before it gets too cold. I just got my mother-in-law a like coffee mug warmer, and I should have got myself one too because I've just been thinking about it ever since. Like, man, I wonder if she likes that. I wonder if that's working well. I'm gonna have to ask her about it because I want one for myself also. So the next plant that I want to talk to you guys about today is growing in water, actually, and you may have seen this recently if you watched my grow tent update video or anything like that, but and it's actually looking a little bit worse for wear right now too, so you know, judgment-free zone here. But this is my Marble Queen Pothos. Isn't she stunning? Wow. Look at that color. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, I thought this was one of her leaves, but this is a Australis leaf. So no worries. We do have a few crispy leaves here. No big deal whatsoever. Check out all of those roots. So not only is the Marble Queen Pothos easy to grow in your regular soil medium, it's also easy to grow in water, which I just kind of dig it, honestly. Like I've had these in here for so long now. Like 2 months, I want to say, if not a little bit longer. And they're chilling. So not only are these just super easy to grow, they're stunning. I feel like it's kind of a different look as well. It gives you that variegated look without having that variegated price. You know what I'm saying? It kind of keeps it a little bit more reasonable because again, this is a very common plant. You can find this probably just at your local grocery store, just like the one before, and I'm pretty sure the ones after as well. So definitely be on the lookout for these. I've actually been seeing these in really large lush baskets at my local Kroger store for like $13 to $16, something around there, and I've been like really having to just like walk quickly by them so that I don't stop and purchase them, which is a good thing. I don't go in the store very often anymore. I order my groceries online because then I don't buy things like that. But anyway, regardless, oh my god, Tangent City, jeez Louise. But anyway, the Marble Queen Pothos is such an easy, beautiful plant. And again, it gives you kind of that different look. And another thing that I love about the Marble Queen Pothos, and actually some of the other plants that we're going to get into today as well, but you can grow it in so many different ways. You can grow it as a trailing plant, or you can grow it up a plank and the leaves will get super large and lush. I'm gonna pop a picture up right here. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember for the life of me the name of this girl's Instagram account, but she grows a bunch of different pothos up poles and planks that are like way taller than she is, and she grows, I'm pretty sure it's a Marble Queen Pothos, or some, maybe a Snow Queen, I don't know what the difference is, but she grows a pothos up a pole or a plank, and the leaves are like so ginormous. They're like damn near toddler size. It's so cool. So the way that you can grow these things is just so varied, and it just gives you so many different options for the kind of space that you have. You know, if you are more limited on your floor space, you can hang it from the ceiling and have it trailing down. If you're more limited, vice versa, you can grow it, you know, as a floor plant and have it growing up. You can do so many different things. It's just such a beautiful, versatile plant. And in my experience, you can have these in quite a few different conditions. The only thing I would suggest with the Marble Queen Pothos is to not have it in too low of light. The only reason being is because it will start to slowly revert. So you can like see this leaf, where is it? This leaf here, it's got like much more green on it than the queen marbly part, the marbled queen part, whatever. And that's because it was getting a little bit less light where I had it situated previously. But now all of this new growth is just like stunning and beautifully variegated because I've had it in my grow tent under a grow light getting like optimal conditions and super bright light. So keeping your Marble Queen Pothos in an area that gets pretty high indirect light will just ensure that you keep that beautiful variegation going forward. But of course, if you don't mind the look of like some variegated parts of your plant or your whole plant eventually going variegated, who cares? You know what I mean? If that's what you like, that's what you like. Then put your plant wherever the heck you want, because other than losing the variegation, it will totally, it's a pothos, you know what I mean? It's like the same thing as a jade pothos. Like it will revert to a jade pothos if you don't give it enough light. So if you're absolutely fine with that look, that's what you're gonna get, and it's gonna be just as easy to grow as your standard pothos. So if you can grow a pothos, you can grow a Marble Queen Pothos with ease, 100%. I am definitely confident in your abilities. You can do this. It's such an easy plant. And it's just beautiful. And again, pick it up at your local grocery store for super cheap. And it's one of those plants too that I would be really confident in telling you that you can buy a really small 2, 3-inch, 4-inch pot or something of one of these guys, like in the little sales section, and be able to grow it into like a lush, beautiful plant within a matter of a few months. It's pretty quick with these guys. So don't be shy about just trying a small plant, see how it goes, because I feel like you'll really enjoy it. Every leaf is just something new and pretty to look forward to. So yeah, Marble Queen Pothos, check her out at your grocery stores if you haven't already. I was just gonna skip right on by without telling you guys any of my like care tips. So first off, this plant, unlike the one that I showed you before, your Thanksgiving or holiday cactus, this guy is very, very vocal. So she will definitely let you know when she's thirsty. The leaves will get very droopy, and not only that, they'll start to feel super thin just because like all of the moisture has just been like sucked out of them. So the leaves will be very droopy and they'll feel like sad and like paper thin. And then as soon as you give it a water and give it some time to like get acclimated and soak that water in, it will just perk right back up and the leaves will start to feel nice and plump again. So really, really easy and talkative. And it's also really forgiving too. Like if you skip a watering or if you water a little too much, just let it dry out a little bit extra, or just don't skip it the next time or something, and you'll be totally fine. You're not gonna see like very many major consequences. If anything, you'll start to drop some of the like higher up older leaves, but it's really not that big of a deal. And I find that it wants to grow, so it'll start pushing out new growth from the top of the soil even after some of the stuff has died off. So it's not a total loss, and you can always chop and prop super easy. And I have tons of videos on chopping and propping. This goes the same for like any of the trailing plants that I've done. In fact, I think I actually did chop and prop this in a video, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I will try and link that for you if I can remember. The next plant that I want to talk to you about, the one that I'm going to show you, is not necessarily the one that I like wanted to show you. That one is too large, and so I will get you some pretty B-roll footage of it, but it's the same idea. My next plant is going to be a rubber tree. The one that I have to show you here is my Tanike rubber tree. She's absolutely stunning. I feel like this is my substitution for the fiddle leaf fig as far as like a new plant parent plant to try. If I feel like so many people will tell you to try the fiddle leaf fig, maybe not. Maybe don't try that one. That one is very, very, very picky about its conditions, about moving anything, about changing anything, about its watering, its light, its food, literally everything. The ficus is not, well, that is also a ficus actually, is it? It is. But I find that the rubber tree is not nearly as picky as the fiddle leaf fig. So that much might be my experience. Let me know if you feel the same way down below. But I just think these are such cool, beautiful plants and honestly kind of underrated. Again, the one that I really want to talk to you guys today about is the burgundy rubber plant because I feel like I just don't hear it talked about quite as much anymore. And darn it, it needs to be because it is so beautiful and it just is it's just a stunner. It's got those thick, juicy leaves and like, ugh, it's just so beautiful. And I love that, like, I don't know. I have a thing for the leaves that, like, when they look glossy, just with like wiping them off, you know? And I think it's just because I love the satisfaction of wiping off a dusty leaf. Oh, it's my favorite. Like if you go to like a random store somewhere and you see that they have like a burgundy rubber tree just like sat in the corner and it's all dusty, I will be over there like using the underside of my shirt, just like wiping the dust off, being like,
You see? Yeah? You want to hire me? I'll just clean your leaves all day.
I am that person. And if you're that kind of person too, and you like to clean and you like that satisfaction, you're gonna really like the rubber tree. It's just so cool. It's so satisfying to grow, not just to clean, but also to grow. And okay, I wanted to show you this. Where are they? I noticed this a few weeks ago. Can you see in there? There are aerial roots that have grown off the base, like at the bottom of the stem there. And I had no idea that these did that. It's just the coolest thing to me. I couldn't even believe it when I saw it. But yeah, the rubber tree, she's so easy. I feel like when I don't know, when did I first really hear about the rubber tree? I, like many others, I'm sure, fell even more in love with plants after watching Jenna Marble's plant tour video that she did, her like one and only, I think. And she had a beautiful, I'm sure she probably still does, but she had a beautiful burgundy rubber tree. And when I saw that, I had my first rubber tree already and it was just a little itty bitty. And I was just like, okay, that's what she's gonna be one day. She can be like human size. And that's the thing too about rubber trees and these just kind of like more common houseplants is I feel like a lot of them, if you're a more sentimental kind of person and I don't know, you're a really family-based person or something like that, these are the kind of plants that you can have in your family for generations upon generations and it will just be like this really beautiful special thing. Honestly, yeah, with any of these plants, they're those kinds of plants that are so easy care that literally anyone can figure out how to take care of them, you know, with enough like give and take of, you know, overwatering and underwatering where the plant is going to take it and not just die, that anyone can take care of these plants and so therefore they can be passed down just to anyone in your family. And I just think that is so special. Like my giant burgundy rubber tree, I got that for free off Facebook Marketplace, and this woman had it for like 10 plus years, and it got too large for her space. And I just feel like that's so special. It's such a cool thing to know that someone had that plant in their care, loving that plant for a decade, you know, like that's just it's just wild to know, and I just think it's really cool. So if you ever are buying a really, really large plant from someone, ask them how long they've had it. Get a little backstory, because it just feels really special to know that kind of stuff about your plants, and it just makes you feel a little bit more connected. And I don't know, if you end up having that plant for a decade yourself and then end up passing it along, even if it's not to someone in your family, you can kind of pass that story along with it to the next person that has that plant. So I just think it's so cool. I don't know. I've been feeling really sentimental lately and like really homesick. So just thinking about that stuff just makes me smile and also feel a little bit weepy, but we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. My eyes literally just got watery thinking about home. Stop. Okay, anyway, ficus, rubber tree, not the fiddly fig, but the ficus, rubber tree, the Tanique, the burgundy, the, oh, I don't know. There's like this newer one that I've been seeing floating around that's like super variegated. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember. I'll pop a picture up over here or something for you, but it's beautiful. But chivalriana, something like that. Anything like that, I feel like is going to be a really beautiful kind of statement plant. And okay, not that last one. Scratch that last one for this list because that one is more rare. I forgot the point of this video because I got too excited. But all of these other rubber trees are going to be very easy to find. I've been seeing these everywhere, literally everywhere and in any size imaginable. And like I said, they grow pretty quickly. This guy, I want to say, was around, where's the pot? He was around this big when I initially got him, and he has grown quite substantially in the last, like, I don't know, year that I've had him or so. So I just dig it. I totally dig it. Get yourself a rubber tree if you don't already. I'm sure you do. But if you don't have this one, or if you don't have the burgundy, maybe you need to add them to your collection. And the reason that this one in particular has the aerial roots popping out, at least I'm 99.999% sure, is because it has been living in my grow cabinet, or my grow tent rather, right behind me. So it's been getting that super, super high humidity and high light, and he likes it. He likes it a lot. Look at how pretty that new growth is. Wow. Okay, moving along. So my next common houseplant that I think everyone needs to know about and everyone needs to try, I'm sure you all know about them already. Let's be fair. I'm sure you know about these plants, but like, do you know that you need to grow them in your house? Okay, this is the Philodendron Hederaceum, or Heartleaf Philodendron. So this comes in many, many different varieties, many different forms, different colors, slightly different shapes to go along with those different colors. But this is just your standard green form Philodendron Hederaceum, or Heartleaf Philodendron. This one is very thirsty, and you might be able to tell because she's a little droopy and you can't feel the leaves, but trust me when I tell you they feel very thin and very sad. But the cool thing about this plant is I chronically underwater this plant because, as you can see, it's on a wall, in a wall planter thing. So I just, it's up on the wall. Therefore, henceforth, I forget about it all the time. And it does totally fine. It gets really droopy, much droopier and much sadder than it is currently. And as you can tell, it's quite long. She just continues to grow. And also, she's in a dark ass corner. Like, she's not getting much light at all. And you wouldn't know. You'd never be able to tell. It just is so happy. I do have a holiday light kind of awkwardly wrapped around her right now. You might be able to see the light. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. I just thought it was fun. I was trying to get festive. But yeah, it's just such an easy care plant. Now, like I said, it does come in tons of different forms. I would say my personal favorite is probably the Brazil because, oh, I'm looking at her from not very afar right now, and she's just beautiful. They're just gorgeous, gorgeous plants. But the regular standard green form, I don't know why I have to call it regular and standard and not just the green form, but the green form Heteracea is just so classic and beautiful. And one of my favorite things about it is the fact that you can literally put her anywhere. Like, I mean, don't put her in no light. Don't do that. Don't put her in a bathroom with no window or something like that. But if you put her in a bathroom with like a light that you are okay with leaving on for 8 hours a day, she's honestly probably going to be okay, you know? Like, I think it would be fine. And it's just a classic plant. I really feel like this is the kind of plant that you can not only put anywhere, but it will go with anything. Obviously, it's a plant. Plants go with anything. That's kind of silly. But it just like kind of elevates, I feel like, any area just that much more. Like, I literally had a space in a corner in my living room that gets hardly any light because it's in this awkward little corner. And I had a piece of like art there or like a photo there or something for a while, but it just wasn't enough. You know, it just didn't fill that little space enough for me. And I wanted to put a plant there. I've tried a few other plants there and they did not do well. I want to say I even tried a golden pothos in the same spot that this guy sits in currently, and it did not like it whatsoever. And that's a pothos. Like, what the hell? The easiest plant ever. I think this might be even easier than a pothos, in my humble opinion. I think that the Philodendron Heteracea is easier than pothos. I said it. Fight me. No one cares. But yeah, Philodendron Heteracea, it's one of those ones that you can find literally anywhere. Once again, just like all of these plants on this list, that's why I'm talking about them. They're going to be super easy for you to find and super easy for you to just like multiply in your house. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, how cool would just like a wall of this be? Like, that would be so crazy beautiful. Or like the two mixed together. Hold on. Mixed on a wall like this, like, I would love it. That would be so beautiful and like so cheap to do. Oh my gosh. So yeah, definitely get yourself a Philodendron Heteracea. Don't spend more than $10 on one. Just don't do it unless it's like super, super, super giant and lush and you absolutely love it. Obviously, spend whatever you want. But in my opinion, I don't think you should ever spend more than like 10 bucks on a nice, lush Heteracea, maybe 12, because like that's how they do prices now. It can't just be 10. They got to tack on an extra $2 there, but don't spend more than 12 bucks on a beautiful Heteracea and it will grow in no time for you, just beautifully. My last plant to talk to you guys about today is in the heaviest pot ever, but it's really cute, so I wanted to show you the pot as well. I scored it. I was so pleased. Oh my God, could it be any heavier? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. No, because that's gonna be wet. Oh, damn it. Okay. I haven't been to the gym in a while. Look how cute this pot is. First things first, ignore the plant. Look how cute the pot is. I got this giant pot for $14. Do you see the size of this? It's humongous. $14 at TJ Maxx, which I never go in there. I forget that that place exists, but it does, and they got some deals. So, what is that? We're good. All right. It's officially the last plant on my list today for common houseplants that y'all need to know about, and that is going to be the Baltic Blue Pothos. Okay. I feel like the Cebu Blue Pothos had its like time to shine a while back. Not really talked about as much anymore for some reason, but the Cebu Blue like really was a hot thing for like a minute, I feel like, but the Baltic Blue didn't really get that. It did for maybe a little bit when it first came out because Costa Farms brought them out to all the different, big box stores. So for that week or something, everyone was like, whoa, what is that? And then it just kind of died off and I never really hear anyone talk about them, but they're so cool. They're so easy. And look at how pretty and bushy that sucker is. And okay, I need a larger stake for her, obviously, but she wants to grow up. And these ones fenestrate so easily. They fenestrate way faster than, what's that one I was just saying? The Cebu Blue, way faster than the Cebu Blue. It does not need to be even climbing up anything for the leaves to start fenestrating. As you can see, just within the pot here, like at the base of the pot, there's a bunch of fenestrated leaves already. So it It's so cool. It's so beautiful. I will say it is that like super, super dark green. It doesn't have any of the bluey hues of the Cebu blue. So I do realize that it is different in that regard, but I just absolutely love it. I think it needs its time to shine a little bit more. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, just to kind of show it off a little bit more. It's so beautiful. It's so bushy. I need to take it out of this pot because it is too damn heavy, but the pot, it's also heavy because it is watered. But look at that. Look at how cute and bushy that is. And she just wants to grow. She just wants to grow like crazy. It's a Pothos variety, of course. So super easy to grow. And I feel like for a while there, when they first came out from Costa Farms, when they were first released, they were kind of harder to find. You know, they came in like drops of like 15 or 20 or whatever, even less than that at your stores. So people were like trying to run around like mad trying to get them. I know I was. I like went to the store, searched for one, and oh my God, this is actually funny. I called a store. I never do this because they usually don't really know what plant to look for. But I was like so desperate. I wanted this plant so bad. So I called all the different like Lowe's and Home Depots. I finally found that there was like a Lowe's, I think, in a town, a couple towns away. So I had to drive like 30 minutes and worth it though, honestly. But I had her put one on hold for me and I was like, can you please just pick out like, you know, whatever one you think is like really, really pretty looking and just sit it at the front desk for me and I will be there like as soon as possible. And I rushed down there and there was one behind the desk for me. She did pick one out, but it was literally the ugliest one. Oh my God, it was like half dead. And then when I went over to see if there was like, you know, if there were any other ones, I just kind of assumed that like, oh, she must have just grabbed me like the very last one they had. No, dude. There were like 5 or 6 other ones that looked so much better, and she literally picked the worst one. So, yeah. My advice to you, if you are searching for plants like I am, I'm sure they just get so many phone calls. She was probably just so sick of getting all those phone calls and being asked to do that. I'm sure I was not the first one to be desperate enough to do that. She was probably just so sick of it. So just go drive down there yourself, and if it's there, awesome, buy it. I wouldn't ask the people working there to set it aside for you because not only are they not a plant store, so they don't really know what to look for when you say, I want a Baltic blue or I want, you know, a silver dragon or this or that. They're not really going to know what to look for necessarily. So it's really hard for them most of the time to actually find the plant that you're looking for. And they just don't want to do that. So make their lives easier, make your life easier, and just go down there and pick it out yourself because like really, you're going to want to pick it out yourself anyway, right? So yeah, definitely check these out more. But anyway, what I was getting to with all that is that it's not like that anymore to find these. These are much easier to get a hold of now. I've been finding these not only just at my Lowe's and Home Depots now, but also at my grocery store too. So, and I usually just shop at like the local Kroger grocery store. So for us here, it's called a King Soopers. I know back home in Washington, it's called Fred Meyer. So whatever it's called for you, I think they actually just like bought out Albertsons or something, or maybe Safeway or both. So yeah, I think they're all just like kind of the same now. So definitely check your local grocery store for any of these plants. If any of these 5 plants have sparked your interest, don't worry about like, you know, having to try and order these plants online or having to like really scour your nurseries and stuff like that. You're most likely going to be able to come across these plants with relative ease. So don't stress too hard about finding these plants. Don't rush out anywhere in search of these plants. Mosey on over and see what you can find for a good price because that's what I love finding. I am such a bargain hunter. Like, it's ridiculous. So definitely look for a good bargain on any of these plants. But I just think that this one in particular, the Baltic blue, is so special and so beautiful. I just love how extra bushy it grows. Granted, this one does have a few cuttings in it, but honestly not very many. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This has 6 separate cuttings in there. That's not very many. So yeah, they grow really, really tight and I love it. And what I mean by tight is that the nodes are super close together. So the space in between the nodes, the internodal spacing, is very, very short, especially when it's at the base of the pot. So because it's not really like searching for anything to climb onto yet. So it's like extra bushy at the base, which I just love. So definitely check this out. It's very different looking. It's a different shape, much more kind of like much more elongated than I feel like any of the other leaves that I've shown you today. So definitely a more different looking plant and just cool. And I think it looks beautiful in this orangey terracotta colored pot. Am I right? I think so. I don't know. I feel like I am just like talking in circles now. I had so much energy at the beginning of this video and now it's just like, phew, drained. It's my it's my second week back at work now. It's my first like full week back at work. I'm not doing full days quite yet, but almost. And today was my super early morning. So I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning to be at work by 4, and it is, I think, 4:00 p.m.-ish right now. So your girl is feeling it. The day is caught up to me officially. And I don't want to be done filming though. I really want to like film another video. So if there's like another video that you see at some point after this and I just seem like weirdly delusional, just know it was probably on my early work day and I've just been saying too many words all day and I'm losing my mind. But it's okay. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through all of my babbling. I really appreciate you guys. You have no idea. So yeah, I will leave it at that because I feel like Michael Scott right now where he's just like, sometimes I just like start a sentence and I don't even know where it's gonna go and I just hope I can find it somewhere. That's what I feel like right now. So I will leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe if you are not subscribed already. I feel like only like 50% of you guys that watch these videos regularly are subscribed. So definitely hit that button if you're not already. That way you don't miss any of my uploads. I am officially back to my regular uploading schedule of Mondays and Thursdays with some extra fun goodies sprinkled within. So definitely you want to be around for those. Okay, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So bye guys.